we were talking about the belts and how I use the Trizacts and the ceramic belts. So, as I was talking about, I use the Trizacts only when I have to go higher on a knife, and then I'll do the stones to get the grit, but then I'll keep the bevel done with the Trizact so it looks nice. So I've got an F-A-Big 1000 that somebody wants the 8000 grit. So I'm going to walk you through on the belt, and then I'll take you up to the stones and show you what I do. Okay. All right, so we got the 120 belt here first. I labeled it. I got the date that we started with it, just so I know how long it's going to last. And before picture, this bevel is done already from the maker, from Maestro, so it's aesthetic, but we're going to get the edge. Okay. So hopefully it's coming out. Got that bevel going on there. I'm going to round it down a little bit to just again give it some more aesthetic, more shoulder to it. So you saw all the sparks. That's just because it's high carbon steel or medium carbon steel. So yeah, get on that. So I'm going to round it down a little bit. All right, that gives us a little wider bevel. So we're going to do the same to the other side. We got a nice wide bevel on there. Probably come down a little bit more on this side. I'm going to come down just a hair more to even it out. Alright, so I got my 30 Trizact A30. I'm putting it on, and I just put the marks for directional, and I'll switch it when I think about it. But yeah, this way I try to wear it more evenly. Alright, do the same thing. We're just going to clean up the bevel now, because the scratches on here, I don't know if it's coming out on the video, but they're there, but they're not terribly deep because I didn't press that hard. You notice I'm not using water either, because I'm really not taking that much meat out. If I'm going to spend time and it's going to get hot, I will dip or I will wash it off or rinse it to keep it cool. But in this case, it's not really, it's barely like you just left it out in the sun, kind of warm, not even. So, all right, let's move through this. Okay, looks pretty good. Go to the A16. Again, I'm just setting a bright edge so that when I do take it to the stones and I go for 8K in this case, then at least the bevel behind it will be shiny, and then the 8K edge might be some contrast to it, but at least the whole thing will be shiny to begin with, even if it's a different bevel at the end. All right, 16. All right, we got the 6 Trizact A6. Just bring it to a shine. It's basically a mirror-ish. It's 3K kind of finish, so it's shiny, it's smooth. It looks really bright against everything. So now whatever we do with the 8K, it'll match. All right, we'll bring it over to the stones next. All right, so for I'm gonna just go through a series of stones to get to 8K. I have to start with a 600 just to make sure I've got the angles that I want at the bevel. Just gonna sharpen it the same way I normally would. I'm gonna round it over, convex it slightly, and then see where it goes. All right, so start off with my angle. Make sure hitting it. Okay, I'm hitting it. Now I'll slowly round it back down. Now because I don't have as much space on the stone, I really don't have a lot of freedom to lower it that much without causing some aesthetic problems. So I'm only going to go so low. It's okay because we're just rounding over that shoulder. All right, do the other side here. Start off at my angle. I'm going to start lowering it down. Again, if you're using a guided system, you do the same thing. You set 2 different angles. Okay, good. What it looks like. So there's definitely the 600. You can see that, and then just behind it, maybe 1 mil, 2 mils max, there's the initial belt grinder line. I'm not going to be able to match that. Not on this. That's just too much effort. So we're just going to go through, and that will be my actual bevel, and then we'll have whatever's behind that. It's still pretty shiny. All right, there's a 1K Chosera. And I'll just continue with the sharpening now. This is just filling in the blanks. Alright, next up is 3K. This will bring more of the equivalent finish to what we did with the belt, the A6.
Honestly, I think this would be easier if this was on a guided system because it's just such a monster knife. But we're here. About these knives, they get heavy. Heavy. This is 1.1 kg. You know, so it's like 3 pounds. You're just tossing it around. It's hard on the wrist. Luckily, as a teenager, I built up my wrist. Anyway.
Okay, so we didn't buff yet. But I just want to let you know it's already pretty dang good. I'll do a low pass first. I want the back bevel. Then I'll come in and get the edge. I'm pushing a little bit. Anything low bevel. Just polishing. And angle. Yeah, I'm pushing in pretty good. Not too crazy, but just pushing in. Now I'm going to tickle that edge at the angle. You can hear that difference. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, it's just like butter now because we buffed it. So it's just slicing like butter. There you go. Effing big 1000. Using the belts and stones, the 8K.